Welcome to the Health with Hashimoto's podcast. Today I have a question for you. And the question is this: are you using herbs and supplements as medications or in place of medications, or are you using them to support your body and to further your wellness goals? And those things might sound very similar to you. So we're going to break down the difference and the mindset and then the goal, at least the goal of how I see it. I am Esther. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a holistic health educator. I have Hashimoto's, and I am the host of Health with Hashimoto's. I put out an episode of this podcast every week, and in the future, I've been thinking about doing some interviews. So if you have people that you would like me to interview, go ahead and drop me a comment. I am off of Instagram for a while. My boys are starting to have more of a screen addiction, so we're all taking a bit of time off, but I will be checking my messages, so you can still message me on Instagram and get a hold of me that way. Or, huge announcement, you can message me on my app. Yes, I have a free app for you. It is the Health with Hashimoto's app, and I am so excited to introduce it to you. It has a community area where you can chat with other listeners about what you heard on the podcast, about your reactions, about what you're doing. You can ask questions. You can build a community of support, and I am so excited to have this space for you. So as of right now, you're going to go to the link down in the show notes, and I have a link to my site. And from there, you have instructions on how to get the app. So right now, I do not have a standalone app. Like if you go to, the App Store, the Google Play Store, and if you search for Health with Hashimoto's, it's not going to pop up. It's like a subdomain app. But if you go to my site, it shows you exactly how to get the app. Soon, I hope to have the actual site to you. To get approved on Google, I have to have at least 20 people using the app. So the more people that download it and use it, the faster it will be a standalone app on Google. But that's not all I was going to talk to you about today, even though I am so excited about the app. Let's talk about using herbs and supplements as medications versus supporting your body. And I feel like this is really easy to fall into. I have done it myself. It is thinking about supplements and herbs as you would medications. And it is natural because we have been programmed, we have been taught that there's a pill for every ill, right? That is like the philosophy of Western medicine. When you have a problem, you look to a pill to solve it. For quite a while, there has been building distrust of the pharmaceutical industry. And then with COVID and the shenanigans that happened around that, there's like a whole new level of distrust for the pharmaceutical industry and for doctors and medical people in general. As a result of that, people are looking outside of the Western pharmaceutical industry for solutions. And so they still have the mindset of when there's something wrong, I need a pill to fix it. So one example is when you get diagnosed with hypothyroid, you might immediately think, okay, so my thyroid isn't producing enough thyroid hormone, so obviously I need more thyroid hormone. And that's exactly what traditional Western medicine doctors do. They give you more thyroid hormone. They give it to you in the form of Synthroid or levothyroxine, something like that. It is thyroid hormone. But if you have a mistrust of the pharmaceutical industry, maybe you think the same thing. I need more thyroid hormone, but now you want a natural way to get that. So you look at maybe natural desiccated thyroid, which is taken from cows. It's actually the thyroid gland from cows, and they dry it, grind it up, and put it into little capsules so that you get what you need. And you can get, it's called NDT, natural desiccated thyroid. You can get that on Fullscript. You can get that online. You can get it maybe even from some pharmacies. I'm not sure. And so those would be two different ways that you're trying to get the same outcome. You're trying to increase your hormone levels through either pharmaceuticals or a pharmaceutical substitute. Does that make sense to you? Like you're trying to get to the same outcome, just not using the pharmaceutical industry. And this happens in other areas too, where you're looking for the solution and you're looking for a medication replacement that is a vitamin, an herb, a supplement, something like that. So another example would be maybe your blood sugar is not regulated really well. Maybe you have diabetes and you have heard that you need to do some stuff to lower your blood sugar, especially the spikes. And you know that metformin could help, but you don't want to use a pharmaceutical medication. So you look to berberine. Now, berberine is really good. And in fact, some studies show that it works better than metformin or just as good as metformin for many people. So you decide to try berberine. Berberine is an herb. It is safe for most people. Of course, if you're going to start taking it, make sure to read more about it. But it is natural versus metformin, which is pharmaceutical. They're both going to help you obtain the same type of goal. There's other things that you can use. Like if you look on Fullscript, that is it's kind of like the Amazon of quality supplements and herbs. And I'll put a link to my Fullscript shop, I guess, down in the show notes. But if you look in Fullscript for like glucose control, you're going to find, or spike control, you're going to find other supplements and herbs, natural things that help you control your blood sugar. So this is the mindset where you are still looking for a solution, a pill for every ill, except instead of looking pharmaceutical, you're looking for natural solutions. Like you still want a capsule, you still want a tablet, a pill, whatever, to solve this problem for you. That is one mindset. And it's so common because that is what we have been brought up to believe. Like if you have pain, you take ibuprofen, right? It's a pill for every ill. Now, if you're stepping on a tack, if you're stepping on a nail, do you need ibuprofen? No, you need to step off of the nail, right? If there's a fire alarm going off in your house, you don't just put on like ear protectors, right? You don't just plug your ears. You find this problem. You want to step off of the nail. You want to, put out the fire. That's the other way to look at this. And this way of thinking is what I really think of when I think of holistic. When I think of holistic, I think of the whole person, the whole you, body, mind, spirit, diet, environment, putting all of the pieces together. And when there's a symptom, when there's something going on, you're like, why is that happening? And how do I address it from looking at the whole? How can I fix something, body, mind, spirit, diet, environment? How can I change things so that the symptom responds? Not how can I put a patch on it? How can I put a Band-Aid on it? But how can I actually help? That is what I see as holistic. Or you can say functional medicine. Functional medicine is looking for the root cause. So going back to those same two examples, the hypothyroid and the blood sugar, what would you do differently? So with the hypothyroid, if you find out that your thyroid is not producing enough thyroid hormone, then the question you're going to ask is why? Why isn't it doing it? What is going on? And how can I support my body so that it can do its job? What is blocking it? Or what is preventing it? What is attacking it? Why is my thyroid not doing what it's designed to do? And for that answer, I have an entire workshop for you. I have broken it down into small little modules that are just a couple minutes so that you can go through it as you have time. You can sit down and do the whole thing in one fell swoop, just binge it if you want, or you can do it little pieces at a time. I have that for you within the app. It is called Hashimoto's Decoded. And within that module, I help you discover the very clear steps to regain control of your health. I want you to know, not only what causes thyroid problems in the first place, but what is going on with you and with your health. I want you to be able to figure out your next steps, not your best friend's next steps, not the next steps for the general population, but what will work for you. And that is free within the app, because I want everybody to have access to this information, because you deserve it. You should not be suffering. You should not be, stuck, not knowing what to do, trying to put patches on it, trying to fix the symptoms by just, taking another pill, whether it's pharmaceutical or whether it's a natural thing. Like it's a loop. You just keep going, because if you're not fixing what's causing the problem, then the problem is just going to keep getting worse. And instead of, needing one medication, maybe now you need two, or you need to increase your dose. It's not a sustainable thing of just treating the symptoms. We have to look deeper. We have to look at the whole. We have to look at what's causing it. So for, that hypothyroid, there's a lot of things that could be causing it. And I go through the top 8 most common root causes of Hashimoto's hypothyroid in that free course, because I want you to know. I want you to be able to figure out how to, address what's going on. So that is like the holistic view, or the functional medicine view of, hypothyroid. But what about the other example, blood sugar? Well, blood sugar, it is one of the root causes of Hashimoto's. So we want to know how to address it. And, taking berberine or a glucose control blend of herbs is going to help, because it is going to get you that solution, at least according to the research, right? It's going to help you control your blood sugar. And when you control your blood sugar, then that helps all the things that imbalanced blood sugar, impacts. So when your blood sugar goes really high and when it goes really low, those are both stressors. They both cause problems in the body, different stressors or different problems depending on if it's going high versus low. So having a controlled blood sugar is better for you, like overall. But in that first example, in the first mindset of where you're just taking that berberine or the glucose control, you're not changing anything else. You're not addressing, well, why is my blood sugar going high? Why is it going low? Is it because I ate, some really fast carbs, some things that you eat them and your blood sugar spikes really high, really fast. And that means it also drops really precipitously, and then it goes really low. I do have an episode all about blood sugar. So it is episode number 10, and it's all about blood sugar and thyroid problems and why it matters that you manage your blood sugar, that you help your body do what it's supposed to do. And I talk about both high and low blood sugar in there. And then I help you figure out, how to address those. And it's not necessarily about taking a pill, taking supplement. Now, I do follow the glucose goddess on social media, Jessie something, can't remember her last name. And she has written a book about blood sugar control. She's got a lot of good tips. And I do use some of her tips, but I also really try to be cognizant of what I'm eating and what the food I'm doing and the order that I'm eating my food, what that is going to do to my blood sugar, because I know that my blood sugar is responsible for, my Hashimoto's, for symptoms. And so I want to do everything I can in order to help my body be successful in being healthy. That is my main goal. Like, I want to be healthy. I'm sure that's your goal too. And we all have different measurements of health. But I feel like most of us, a currency of health is energy. And I want to have good enough energy to live the life that I want, that I know I need. As a mom of 4 active boys, as a wife to a very active husband, like, I cannot be stuck in bed all day. I still get migraines with my period. I've been working on so many different ways to help that. And I tell you, the days where I am stuck in bed and I cannot keep up with my family, I feel less. I just feel less. And maybe you can identify with that. When you don't have the energy or when pain is stopping you from living your life, maybe you also feel less. That's a miserable place to be because we are designed to be valuable and to impact those around us. Now, can you still have an impact even when your body is not working well? Yes, you can. There is nothing that takes away your value. You are valuable because you are you. You are valuable because you are made in God's image and because God says you're valuable. Our feelings can change. Other people can say things. We can say things. We can tell lies, but God tells the truth and God says you are valuable. And if you need like scripture references for that, I have them because that's one of the lies that one of my kids was believing, actually a couple, because when you're in middle school and junior high, that's just the natural stage of life, right? Even as adults, we tend to hear it and believe it, that we're not valuable, we're not loved. And so I went through a whole bunch of Bible verses and I pulled out the ones that talk about how much God loves you and how valuable that you actually are so that my boys can learn them and they can write them on their hearts and, put them deep in their minds and hearts because it's true. You are valuable. You are loved. Now, what was I talking about before I got on that soapbox? Oh yeah. Energy. And I was talking about, wanting to do all I can in order to feel healthy. And you probably do the same thing. If you are like me, you're constantly thinking, how can I feel better? That is the goal. And that is why I created the root cause workshop for you, that Hashimoto's Decoded. I want you to be able to figure it out. I want you to be able to look at the clues, to put the pieces together and say, oh my goodness, yeah, this is why, or this could be why I am having these problems. And this is what I can do about it. It's not looking at the pill for every ill. It's looking at what are the root causes and what can you do in order to support your body in doing what it is designed to do. The mini course, the Hashimoto's Decoded, it is absolutely free. So you're going to head down to the show notes when you're done multitasking, whatever you're doing. When you're done, you're going to head down to the show notes and you are going to click the link. It's going to take you to my website. And on that page, you are going to see the instructions for downloading the app. There's two different buttons. There's one button for Google Play and there's one button for the Apple App Store. You're going to click on that and it will take you obviously to the store and it'll be the passion.io app. And then when you open that, you're going to search for Health with Hashimoto's. Eventually, I will have my own app. So if you're listening to this at a future date, then you'll click the link and it'll take you to my website and it'll take you directly to the Health with Hashimoto's app within the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Once you are in the app, like I said, the app is free and you can create your account. And then you immediately have access to the community. Now, as I record this, there's really not much chatter in there because I'm just telling you about it now. So get into the community, introduce yourself if you want, or pick a favorite episode and say, hey, episode, whatever, episode 10, blood sugar. This is what I'm doing, or this is what I learned, or has anybody tried this? Start a conversation. The goal is that we build a community of people who are all striving to have better health with Hashimoto's. And I know I could put a community on Facebook. I know that groups are big. I'm in so many Facebook groups, but I wanted a place off of social media because social media is stressful and I am trying to lower your stress. I'm trying to lower my stress. That's why I'm off all social media right now because I'm, removing it from my brain. As much as I love staying connected to everybody through social media, it can be stressful and a break is good. So I wanted to build our community, this Health with Hashimoto's community, off of social media. It is within our own app. It is a safe place where you can bring your story. I would love to hear your story on that app. And of course, in addition to the community, you also have access to the totally free mini course the Hashimoto's decoded. That way you can figure out your own root causes and you can figure out the next step. So your next step right now, head down to the show notes and click over to my site where you will find the instructions on downloading the app. I can't wait to see you in the app. I can't wait to hear your stories. I can't wait to support you. I cannot wait to see how you support others. I know that right now I am talking to you. I am in your earbuds. You are one person, but there are so many people who listen to this podcast. If we all come together, I am so excited to dream about the ways that we can support each other, because having an autoimmune problem can feel lonely. Having something that is invisible, an invisible disease, an autoimmune problem, Hashimoto's, whatever you want to say, it can be isolating. It can be lonely. And we can come together as a community to support each other, to lift each other up, to help others find hope and better health with Hashimoto's. I am so excited to welcome you to this dream of having an app where we can all come together. I will see you in the app. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please be sure to discuss any concerns and plans with your trusted healthcare professional.